I start to sort of delve into it, you start thinking about this. Determine the value of the y-intercept of a line. So we need to figure out what that line is with the given slope. That's a tangent line to the given curve. Let me tell you what a tangent line is. You probably learned this in math last year. A tangent line is a line that just, and if you do calculus or advanced functions, you will learn this as well. A tangent line is a line that just touches a function at one spot. So I'm going to show you a tangent line from one of the graphs that we had before, right? So here's an example of a tangent line right here. That line that just grazes the edge of the function at only one spot. That's what a tangent line is, okay? So think about that as we explore this question. So this line that we're trying to figure out has a slope of 1. So we know the slope. So if you think our line y equals mx plus b, we know the m, but we don't know the b. We don't know what the y-intercept is. But we know it's a tangent, so it only touches the curve at one spot on this quadratic function. That much we know. Okay? That much we know. Let's do this. Let's start this off by writing the equation of the line that we're trying to come up with as y equals, m we said was 1, so that's just 1x plus b. Can we agree on that as being the equation of the line so far? Why is my slope 1? The question says that the slope is 1. The b, I don't know what the b is yet. I have no idea. But I do know that this line that I'm trying to draw is going to touch the quadratic function in one spot. It's not going to cross at 2 spots. It's not going to cross. It's not like it's not going to cross. It's going to cross, but it's only going to cross at one spot. So what is that spot? Well, we know that when we're doing this before, we set the two things equal to each other. So minus 2x squared, we're going to do exactly that right now, plus 5x plus 4 is equal to x plus b. So you're trying to think to yourself, okay, but I don't know what b is. How am I going to solve this? Okay, hang on. Don't get, just be patient. We're going to solve this, even though we don't know what b is yet. And we're going to do exactly what we did a few minutes ago. We're going to group everything together onto the left side, set it equal to 0. So minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4, that's just the equation itself, minus x minus b equals 0. Have I lost anybody so far? All I've done is I've said, I kind of know what the line is. I know the slope of the line. I just don't know what the b is. Yes. I was explaining that earlier, so I'll do it again. Thanks for the question. Let me put it over here. No, actually, I want to put everything on the board, on the smart board. So I'm going to put it down below here, then I'll erase it afterwards. If you have, let's say this is your quadratic function, and this is the line that we're talking about. This line is only going to touch this at one spot. That's what I mean by a tangent. A tangent touches another line at just one spot. That's an example of what we're talking about. It's not going to cut it in 2 places. It's not going to miss the line entirely. It's going to touch it in one spot. That's a tangent line. And thanks for that question. Yes, Shaheen. Remember that, okay, let me erase this first. Remember that one of the things you learned back in grade 9 was that the general form of a straight line was, let me go back to black, hang on. Y equals mx plus b. Sound familiar? All right. What is the m and what is the b? What does the m represent? What does the b represent? 1 second. Thank you, Sheriff. Yes, sir? What? No, y-intercept. Good. They told us the slope of the line. Go back to the question. Read what it says in part A about the slope of the line. So we made the m 1. So instead of putting 1x, I just put x. Then the plus b, we don't know what b is yet. We don't know. We don't know. All right, so I'm going to erase this now. So we're on a quest to figure out this b. So let me simplify what we can, right? So minus 2x squared, the 5x and the minus x gives us plus 4x. Then we have the plus 4 minus b. We still don't know what that is. But we do know something else that should be able to help us out. There is a condition that a function which is quadratic has to meet if it only has 1, 0. What is that condition? We've talked about it since this morning. There is a condition that a quadratic function has to meet if it only has 1, 0. Yes, switch here. So, sir, that 1, 0 is a vertex, that's true, but there's something else I'm looking for though. Yes, Jay? You want to say the same thing? There's another condition that it has to meet. There must be somebody who thinks they know what that condition is. Yes, Manuel. What's that? There is a perfect square involved. That's true as well. That's good. All of these ideas are good. But there's one more I'm looking for. Yes, Shaheen. Bingo. Nailed it. B squared minus 4ac must be equal to 0. Remember we learned that? That's another condition. So all the other things you told me about are true, right? It has, that thing must be the vertex where it hits the x-axis, right? That is a perfect square. That's also true. All of that's true. But the thing that's going to help us out right now, and maybe those things can help us out as well, the thing that's going to help us out more than anything else is the fact that b, as Jahim just said, that b squared minus 4ac must be equal to 0. Because we can now plug that into this, set it equal to 0, and probably solve for the b. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. What is the a, b, and c in this case so far? A is equal to what? B is equal to, and when I say b, I don't mean this b, I mean for the quadratic function. So I don't want to confuse you on this here, though. And what is the c equal to so far at this point? Go ahead, please. The a is negative 2. And what about the b? B is 4. And how about the c? Not just 4. What else is there? Yes. It's a 4 minus b. All of that's the b. Right? And I know maybe I shouldn't have used b for the y intercept because it's yeah. I don't want to confuse with the two different b's. There are two different b's. This b here is not the b from the quadratic function. It's the b from y equals mx plus b. This b here is from the quadratic function. Okay? And perhaps I should have used different letters. But anyway, let's keep going. So here's, yes. Because all of this represents the constant. This number here, this b, is a number. It's a constant. Right? But we just don't know what it is. So all of that, let me circle it. All of this represents your c. The whole thing. Right? When we calculate it, the whole thing represents your c. All right. I think we might be onto something here. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to say b squared is 4 squared, that's the b, minus 4 times a, which is minus 2, times c, which is 4 minus b, is equal to, oh, why do I have a, oh, geez, hold on, sorry. This is a minus, this is not equals. Sorry, maybe I'll just write the whole thing over. No, I don't need to. Equals 0. Let me go through that again. This is our b squared minus 4ac right there. And we know it's equal to 0. Because what Jahim just said is one of the conditions that we said we have to meet if we have one solution. Okay? All right. Well, let's do some basic math here now. This would be 16. The minus 4 and the minus 2 multiply to give us positive 8 times 4 minus b equals 0. I think that's the best way to do it. Work out what the 4 squared is. That's just 16. Multiply the minus 4 times the minus 2, which is just positive 8. And then I'm going to expand this 8 into the 4 minus b. So 16 plus 8 times 4 is 32 minus 8b equals 0. Am I going too fast here? Everybody good? Let me know. Let me know, folks. I need to know. Shaluja, are we good so far? Okay. So 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times minus b is minus 8b. Okay, let's put together the 48, sorry, the 16 and the 32, which should be what, 48 minus 8b equals 0. And of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that minus 8b, put it on the other side, or take the 48, put it on the other side, either way. So minus 8b equals minus 48. So now we know that b is equal to minus 48 divided by minus 8, which in my world is 6. Am I right? You know what? We have the equation now. We know what the b is now, so we can write the line, the equation of the line. Actually, let's see what the question was asking first. Question says, determine the value of y-intercept. Okay, so the equation of the line, equation of the line is y equals x plus 6. I really hope you're listening back there, sir, because it looks like the phone is kind of getting in the way a bit. All right, you got to stop that. All right, you got to stick with this. Phone comes later on. Thank you. Sorry. So, there's our solution. That was what b was all along. The b that is not the b from the quadratic, but the b from the y equals mx plus b. That's the b that we're trying to find. And that b looks like it's 6. Y equals x plus 6. Okay. Well, that's good. But they asked one other question. So that was part A of the question. Oh, what did they ask for? What's the value of the y-intercept? Okay. The y-intercept is therefore the y-intercept is, well, what is the y-intercept? Anybody? What's the y-intercept? Gary had your hand up. Yeah, 0, 6. Done. But they also asked for the point of intersection. We know it does intersect at one point, but we don't know what that point is. So let's quickly work that out. I should just throw that over to you and say you work it out. In fact, why don't we do that? Could you take out the earplugs, please? Thank you. All right. Why don't we just do that? Go ahead and go through the steps that you have learned. You need to do some stuff on your own now. Go through the steps that you've just learned. We did that in the first 3 examples. Tell me where that POI is. So I'll start you off. It means that the equation of the quadratic equation is minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4 minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4 is equal to x plus 6. Let's make sure I wrote that down. Minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4 is okay, right. All right, folks, I'm going to stop recording for a while, give you a chance to get that done. This line now has a slope of 4, has 1 point of intersection with the quadratic function. And here we bring back this half thing again that some people were kind of not so sure what to do with. What is the y-intercept of the line? Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form and then state the POI. So kind of what we just did a few minutes ago, right? We're going to take this one right out through to the end. So you were asking us to finish the question. We're going to finish this one, okay? Let's see if that helps you out. Make sense? No, it's not a problem set question. No. We're going to do problem set questions after this. All right. So slope of 4 this time. It only has 1 point of intersection, like the last question. Very much like the last question. Just a little different in the numbers that we're dealing with. There's a half in there. The slope is not 1 anymore. It's now 4. So tell me how I can start writing down the equation of the line, not the parabola, but the straight line. Can anybody sort of start me off on that? Okay, yes, Che, go. 4x plus b. So we change up the slope. So y equals 4x plus b. And we still have the equation y equals a half x squared plus 2x minus 8. So we're going to do what we've done all along, set them equal to each other, right? So a half x squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 4x plus b. We're going to subtract them again like the last time. A half x squared plus 2x minus 8 minus 4x minus b equals 0. We're going to put together stuff that can be put together. So a half x squared, let's see now, that would be minus 2x minus x, no, sorry, minus 8 minus b equals 0. Nothing different from what we did before. Now, what do you think I'm probably going to recommend at this point? If you think back to a homework question that somebody asked me about at the beginning of the class, what do you think I'm going to recommend right now? Yes. I think that's a very good question, a very good approach, Ashton. We're going to multiply everything by 2. Both sides. That clears away that unfortunate half that we don't really want to have to play with. So x squared minus 4x minus 16 minus 2b equals 0. Everything got multiplied by 2. So 2 times that, 2 times that, 2 times that, and 2 times that. The right side is being multiplied by 2 as well, but it just doesn't matter. Yes, Naomi. Yeah, and if it was a third, multiply by 3. If it was even 2/3, I'd multiply by 3. Look at the denominator and multiply by that to get rid of it. I just don't want to deal with fractions. They're just kind of clumsy sometimes, awkward. So our A is equal to, what's our A? What's our A in this case? 1, yeah. What's our B? Minus 4. What's our C? Yes. Minus 16 minus 2b. Absolutely correct. Okay. So remember that b squared minus 4ac must be equal to 0 if it's a tangent line. So let's go ahead and do that now. So minus 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 16 minus 2b, must be equal to 0. Okay? That's my b squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is that. Okay? So this is 16. That's minus 1, and that's, sorry, that's minus 4, and that's 1. So I'm going to make this minus 4 times minus 16 minus 2b equals 0. Multiply those two together. So 16 minus 60, oh, so that's plus 64, sorry. Minus 4 times minus 16. And then plus 8b equals 0. Okay, I'm multiplying a minus 4 times the stuff inside. It's going to be negative. It's going to be positive, yes. Yeah, help yourself. Help yourself. So this looks like 80 to me plus 8b equals 0. And therefore 8b is equal to minus 80. And b is equal to, I'm going fairly quickly here, this is just basic algebra, is equal to minus 10. Okay, that's the value of the b. So the equation asked, sorry, the question, I should say, asked us for what? The question asked us for, what is y-intercept the line? So the y-intercept is just a minus 10. Therefore, y-intercept is minus 10. The equation of the line is y equals 4x minus 10. And the y-intercept is minus 10. Okay. Let's get the y-intercept now, right? Not the y-intercept, we have the y-intercept, sorry. Let's get the POI now, right? The point of intersection. That's what we're trying to find now. Where does this straight line intersect with the quadratic? So now we have the full equation. So remember, it's this. Y equal to 4x minus 10. And we can go back up here now and take the original equation, which is the half x squared plus 2x minus 8. So half x squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 4x minus 10. Okay? And then we're going to finish this up by bringing everything to the left side. So half x squared plus 2x minus 8 minus 4x plus 10 equals 0. So of course we now have to put our like terms together. Okay? Make sense, Emily? That makes sense? Putting our like terms together. So half x squared. The 2x and the minus 4 gives minus 2x. The minus 8 and the 10 gives us plus 2 equals 0. Just make sure I got that right. Plus 2, minus 4, minus 2, minus 8, plus 2. Okay. And again, my recommendation, you don't have to take my recommendation, right? I don't really want to deal with a half. I'm going to multiply everything through by 2 like I did the last time. So I'm going to get, so everything times 2. So I'm going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. Can we all agree on that? That makes sense? Yes? Yeah, I don't like the fractions. I mean, you don't have to. You could still work with it if you wanted to. You could use the quadratic formula with that, but I prefer that. That's me. Doesn't have to be you. Can we factor this? Something squared equals 0. Anybody know what that thing is? This is a perfect square trinomial. What is the thing squared that gives us this? Okay, let's see. Angeli, go ahead. Yeah, x minus 2 squared equals that. So that means that x equals 2 is where this thing touches it. We just need to get the y value now. The y is equal to 4x, or 4 times 2 minus 10. The value that so that's equal to 8 minus 10, which is equal to minus 2. So the POI is at 2 minus 2. Okay?